And while many organizations are doing what they can do to try and help people, in some cases, people are just asking for bottled water to take down to KwaZulu-Natal, try and get some drinking water to people there. From what we understand, the Tongaat Water Purification Works literally washed away in the floods. Could be a long time before people get reliable and sustainable access to drinking water. One organization that is asking people to help and is trying to get water to KZN is the Road Freight Association. Gavin Kelly is the CEO of the Road Freight Association. Gavin, good afternoon to you. What are you trying to do here? What are you asking people to do as well?
Good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to your viewers and any of those who are streaming us. Yeah, we're trying to help those flood victims down in KZN, Stephen. There have been a number of instances where basic services have been cut off. There's been power, but a lot of water has been cut off. And we're just trying to make sure that people get some water, because water is one of the most important things. Not only is it for cooking and for bathing, but it's one of the primary things that you would use to ensure that there is some sort of hygiene and that sanitation keeps running. So we're trying to get anybody who'd like to deliver, sponsor, give us some water. We will organize the transport. We will get it down to KZN. We've got a number of areas where you can come and bring some water, and then we will get it down to the people in KZN as soon as possible.
I mean, even small amounts, do they all make a difference? It all adds up?
Every liter adds up. So we've said, bring a 5-liter bottle, but if you can't do that, if you want to bring a couple of 1 liters or 2 liters, that's fine. Every single liter counts.
I presume we can go to your website to get the drop-off details.
Correct, and then you can also go to the RFA Facebook page at RFA, and you can get those details there as well.
And then how are you getting it to KwaZulu-Natal? You're not going to use a train, Gavin. You'll be using a truck.
Yes, we'll be using trucks. That devastation on the railway line is terrible, isn't it? But yep, we'll be using trucks. Once we've got it down to a central point, we will then use smaller vehicles to get it out to the various areas.
So you're going to try and get it to many areas now. We understand the N3 seems to be fine. All the people I've spoken to say that. But moving trucks around KZN at the moment, some of the roads have been quite badly damaged. We've just heard Patricia de Lille, the Infrastructure Public Works Minister, talking about how many bridges have been damaged. Is it going to be quite difficult to move your trucks around that area?
Well, the heavier trucks obviously are going to be a bit of an issue, because we don't know what the roads are like and whether those foundations and the supporting structures for bridges are still sound. So where we can, we'll try and break it down into smaller tonnage vehicles, but obviously that will be only in terms of where we find the problem. But we're going to try and make sure that those deliveries get there, and we'll use what vehicles are suited as best we can.
And getting plastic bottles of water, do you have to pack them quite carefully in a truck?
It depends on how they come. So if they come loosely, we'll put them into pallets and shrink wrap them. Yes, so we'll make sure that they don't roll around or fall over or break.
Okay. Over the longer terms, it seems to me that some of the roads will be badly damaged for a while, but the bigger problem maybe there's going to be bridges, and so many of the bridges have been damaged or just washed away in KZN. Now that's going to take a long time to fix. It's very hard to build a bridge very quickly. How difficult is that going to be for your industry in that region, in the eThekwini region, over the longer term? I'm talking 6 months, maybe longer, a year.
Yeah, I think, Stephen, none of us really know how long this is going to take. I think you're quite correct. It's going to take 3 to 6 months at least. I know that the Bay Road is going to take at least 3 months to repair what damage is there, and then there are some plans to extend that and make sure that it can withstand whatever other sort of rains might come along. So there's probably going to be a fair amount of upgrading and repair. It's probably going to take a good year or so to get to all the roads around in the KZ area, and as we get more reports, we see that the floods and devastation weren't just around the port. They've actually gone out quite far. So this is going to be really a challenge. We're going to need to have a decent flow of information coming in from the various authorities in charge of the various roads, because it isn't just one authority. So it's not just SANRAL, for example, on the N3 or a concessionaire. These are going to be local authorities and regional authorities. So I think that's our next challenge, is trying to find some sort of a system where this data can be captured reasonably quickly so that alternative routes can be found. But it's going to be a challenge.
Gavin Kelly, thank you very much indeed. All right, you can go to the website, go to their Facebook page for more details around that. Gavin Kelly is the CEO of the Road Freight Association.